Welcome all to our channel. Today we 21st August tinta news cover koribo goisu Luna 25 FIFA Women's World Cup or pulses in India. So the first news coming from the moon is Luna 25 to Russia lunar mission hoy. Junto aji ba kali 21st ba 22nd of moonor southern part of land hobole goisile, but however it was not successful and it crashed into the moon. So we all know that Russia has been among those top countries who has exhibited with their technology to land on the moon along with USA and China. However, it to attempt Russia to reach the southern part of the moon was not successful. So our Chandrayaan 3 already launched kora hoise moonot, and it is supposed to land on 23rd August. Aru Chandrayaan 3 southern pole area to land koribo. So the main interest of the scientists in the southern area of the moon is because they want to see if life is possible in that part of the moon, because they believe that that part of the moon might contain frozen water, which will further help them to explore and transform this water into air and rocket fuel. The lunar southern pole is of particular interest for the scientists. So Roscosmos is the space agency june Luna 25 to launch korisile. So it wanted to show Russia that it is a state capable of delivering a payload to the moon and ensure Russia's guaranteed access to the moon surface. So our Chandrayaan took a was launched much earlier than Lunar 25. Kintu Lunar 25 was supposed to land on the moon much earlier than Chandrayaan 3. Because let's see how is it possible. Karan the mass of Chandrayaan 3 is 3900 kg, which is much heavier, but for Luna 25 it's 1750, which is not even half of this. Our mission life of Chandrayaan 3 is 14 days. Kintu Luna 25 or mission life of 1 year. Aru also the trajectory, the path that Chandrayaan 3 is taking is more longer than Luna 25. For example, this is the Earth or this is the moon. Chandrayaan 3 will take a circular move, and then it will take a slingshot, and then again take circular move and then land on the moon. But Luna 25 will take one circular round around the Earth, then it will take a lunar transfer, and then it will slowly take one another circle and land on the moon. So this makes Luna 25 to land much earlier on the moon, southern part of the moon, than Chandrayaan 3. However, it was not successful, and hopefully India can land on moon on August 23rd. Now coming down to the next news, it's from the sports segment, FIFA Women World Cup 2023. So Spain has always been a superpower in terms of FIFA World Cup. However, this time again Spain won its first Women World Cup as well, defeating England. So it was Spain's first major international trophy asile, our first European team to win the Women's World Cup since Germany in 2007. So even though Spain victory came despite a near mutiny by players last year, the players were complaining that they don't have good infrastructure. The women players were complaining that they had bhal infrastructure nasile, and they also did not have enough facilities to compete in an international level. However, nonetheless, they again showed in the Women World Cup also that Spain is a superpower, and they won the final cup. So coming down to the basics of FIFA World Cup. FIFA World Cup started in 1991 in China. আৰু FIFA Men's World Cup or এক বছৰৰ পিছতহে FIFA Women's World Cup হয়, আৰু এটা total teams 32 থাকে, য'ত 31 teams have to compete to reach to the final, and for one team, the plus one team is the team which is the host country, is the team representing the host country. So ever 2023 Women's World Cup to host কৰিছিলে Australia and New Zealand, and this is the first time that two countries hosted it together. And also it is the first World Cup to be held in the Southern Hemisphere. So if you want to know about India's participation, yes, India did not participate in the FIFA Women's World Cup. Another information that you can remember is that the 9 FIFA Women's World Cup tournaments have been won by 5 national teams so far. The United Nations have won 4 times, and the other winners are Germany with 2 titles, Japan, Norway, and Spain with 1 title each. Okay, so 8 countries have hosted the Women's World Cup. Italy, China, and the United States have each hosted the tournament twice. Australia, Canada, France, Germany, New Zealand, and Sweden have each hosted it once only. So coming down to the next news, Pulse's price may spiral as deficit reigning Mars soy. So there has been deficit in the pulse production because of deficit, that is less rain. So we know agriculture is one of the sector which is very much dependent on rainfall. So rainfall to besi hobo na lage, kisuman crop basi rainfall na lage, kisuman crop basi rainfall lage. So more is also bad and less is also very bad. So ami jano India's population is 1.4 billion, and in order to sustain this vast population, it is very important that our basic necessities, which of course pulse is one of them, we have in good quantity for the entire population. So in this context, food security is one of the thing, and also affordability, because these are basic food for everyone. It should be affordable as well. So ami supply aru demand context of sale, when the prices go when the supply is less, it go down, the price goes up, and that's why it's very difficult for the common population to purchase it. So we can see when tomato supply went down, the price was very high. Similarly, when onion supply go down, the price is very high. So agricultural supply is dependent on major factors is rain, not less, not more. Then there is buffer stock, which the government keeps it in case there is scarcity in the country. Buffer stock is like keeping basic commodities in the warehouse. Okay, so ami jeta economic perspective পৰা চাও, যেতিয়া বস্তু এটাৰ সাপ্লাইটো যেতিয়া কমি যায়, তেতিয়া প্ৰাইচটো বাঢ়ি যায়, আৰু যেতিয়া প্ৰাইচটো বাঢ়ি যায়, CPI-টো বাঢ়ি যায়, which means a consumer price index. That means the rate at which consumer like us we buy the product is called the consumer price index. So jeta consumer price index to bahi jay, it means this phenomenon is known as inflation. Jeta inflation hoy at ekhon country, then RBI intervene, and RBI deals with the inflation process through various monetary policies like SLR, CLR, repo rate, reverse repo rate, and so on. So we will be covering those topics also in depth, but for today let us just take an overview of how we can actually relate agricultural deficit with economy, and how it hampers the normal purchasing power of the people, and then it leads to inflation in the country. So the pulses, India pulse, in terms of pulse, India is the largest producer. It is 25% of global production. Consumer hoy 27% of world consumption, and importer hoy 14% of pulses in the world. So pulses are grown both in Kharif and Rabi season. So Kharif and Rabi season are important geographical terms. So Kharif crops are those crops jak bahut pani laga hoy ar hot weather ot hai grow হয়. So kharif crops কোনবোৰ হয়? Major kharif crops are rice, maize, cotton, jowar, bajra, etc. আৰু rabi crops কি হয়? Rabi crops warm climate লাগে, যেটা seed germination হয়, আৰু in the process of the growth of the crop, তেতিয়া it requires a very cold climate. So the examples are wheat, gram, peas, barley. So these are important from PT perspective. They might give you some options, they might give you some crops, and you have to identify which are kharif or rabi crops. And also next examples of highest producing pulses in India are Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, UP, and Karnataka. So this is also an important PT question, because they might give you some names of the states, and they might ask you which are the top pulse growing states of India, and they might also give you other option along with it. But if you have such facts, if when you know such facts, by elimination method also you can solve such kind of PT questions. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you all tomorrow.